works for you guys. So excited to share with y'all. So we have our guest of honor, which we're gonna do a few things, Megan, in this session, and then we're gonna, have you speak to us. It's not like you have your speech prepared, just making sure.
No.
But this is just our second one. I just, getting in and getting familiar with the team. This is just my second, our success roundtable every Monday we started this in July. So, you're like one of our first guest speakers, which I'm really excited about. You would be my first go-to. Absolutely. So just a little bit about Megan, and then we'll circle back and bring her back in after we do a couple things. So Megan Hawkins, she is an agent, and you guys might have seen on the email where I said she's in the Phoenix Metro agency or district, but she's really in Southern Arizona. All right, because she sits in Tucson. She rents her office is in the Southern Arizona area, right there next to Kimber Witt and her whole crew down there. And I will just say Kimber Witt is her mother, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But Megan I don't want to get this mixed up. Like, Megan definitely has carved her own path for herself. So yes, Kimber might be her mother, and she's probably learned a ton from her mom, but make no mistake, Megan is a bulldog when it comes to super competitive, and I'll get to some of that a little bit later. But we appreciate you being on here, Megan, and I know that you're going to have some great stuff to share, just like in the first couple of years of your tenure with Country as an agent. Like, what has made you successful, and what is your go-to, and what are you really working on now, how that's pivoted into what you're really focused on now. So we'll kind of get to that, but I wanted to start out our meeting with our Maxwell Daily Reader. And I know I walked in the office today, and I kind of went a different way. I didn't know Jimmy was in the office until I came back around, and I was like, hey. And he was commenting how he's been reading the Maxwell Daily Reader, and it's really been helping. So I encourage you guys, if you haven't got this book yet or invested in that, it's really, it's just sometimes when you open it up to the day, it's very apparently telling that it is applicable for what you're going through. So I'm just going to read July 7th. So that's today, improving your preparedness. Are you used to winging it? Do you try to fake it till you make it? Or is solid preparation part of your regular routine? If you continue to let your teammates down, you're probably playing in the wrong position or not spending enough time and energy preparing to meet challenges. To improve your preparedness, he covers three things. One, become a process thinker. Getting ready requires thinking ahead so that you recognize now what you will need later. Create a system or a list for yourself that will help you mentally walk through any process ahead of time, breaking tasks down into steps. Then determine what preparation will be required to complete each step. Number two, do more research. People in just about every profession utilize some kind of research to improve themselves. Become more familiar with the research tools of your trade and make yourself an expert at using them. Let me just refer to something that's available later today when it talks about do more research and become familiar with the research tools of your trade. Don't forget about my training that I'm having later today on all things reports, where to find stuff, how to utilize, what's the most important things to make sure that you're earmarking or saving as a favorite, where to find. Also, I'm going to go through all of that today. All right, so that kind of coincides with making sure you know where to find stuff for your trade. Learn from your mistakes, 100%. All right. The greatest preparation tool can often be a person's own experience. Think about the mistakes you recently made while completing a project or executing a challenge. Write them down, study them, and determine what you can do differently the next time you face a similar situation. So that is from the 17 essential qualities of a team player. So today's takeaway is focus on solid preparation today. Any comments? Any, like, you feel like you relate
I relate 100% because coming from a gym business, this business is night and day difference. To I have so much knowledge and experience, I could wing it, but even then, I've always had an agenda or a plan, but never on that. So I just got to get back into following this new system and protocol. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say, Major, especially for this newbie right here. Um, in this new industry. So, and trying to pick off of other people's resource. Like Jeremy, you've been marked. I'm still coming out to Sisters one day. It's just a matter of seeing behind the shadows and spending a day with you. I think will be a huge asset, instead of teams. And I just, yeah, I got to have better systems and processes all the way through.
There's something about starting your first day with country with someone else. I remember I started with two other guys, and I remember our first 2 years, like we were inseparable as far as sharing information and helping each other and just all sorts of things. Like hey, I just sold a big case, and they'd be like, yes, or they did the same thing, and it's just that encouragement and collaboration is really helpful. And I would say that for all four of you that are team. All right, any other comments about Maxwell Stanley Reader today? I just have one question because I find myself there are times when I just am winging it. Like either in a initial interview when candidate, I can like was it last Thursday? I had a candidate interview later in the afternoon. And at that point I was like, all right, wrapping up getting ready for a long weekend, wrapping everything up. And I really did feel like I winged it, but I really felt like it was different than any other interview that I had done, but it was good. So, but I wish I had been like when I knew she was coming in, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not even prepared at all, and it's not good. So, you guys, you think of a time where you were like, all right, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more prepared. Recently with a client, maybe. Nancy.
With when the service center made me an appointment and I didn't see it, so like wasn't in my brain because I didn't know. And then I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh no, like I have to call them. Luckily, wasn't in person, but I felt like I was winging it because I literally hadn't reviewed their stuff like I normally would have done all in advance. So I was like, okay, let's start with the home. I just had to like do it with them. It was like the first time I was seeing it. It was terrible, like the whole time. But I mean, they didn't know, but I knew, and I was like, oh, I'm never doing that again. I need to like change the way how often I look at my calendar when they just add something on. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Those things, as long as you have a lesson that you learn and you apply. Yeah. Here, sorry.
No, no, you're good. I kind of had something like that recently where there is a gentleman out in Cisterns went to go take defensible space photos for his home because he's just wanting to make sure that we can even get it through underwriting. Since his big thing is his current company basically wants him to remove nearly all plant life on the property, like a little bit excessive in my opinion. So we're trying to see where our underwriting guidelines go with that. But then, because my understanding was I'm just going out there to take dispensable space photos, see if we can get it through underwriting. If so, then we'll go through all the details. But then he starts going over everything. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got the second home, we got the umbrella, we got the auto, we got da." And I was definitely felt like I was seating my pants for that one, kind of going into that. Because I was like, "Oh, I was just gonna take some pictures," and now we're sitting down having this whole massive conversation. But I think I ended up pulling it off to the point of where we can make it make sense for him with underwriting and with the quote price that I'll be able to pull over, but still, it's kind of jarring when you get caught off guard like that.
Well, that was, Jeremy, that's like a good caught off guard, right? Because it's with a prospect, wasn't even a current client. So the fact that he trusted you enough because you showed the effort to go out there, he trusted you enough to say, oh, here's everything else that I have. Would you mind quoting that? So, and I know probably he knows the multi-policy discount and all of that. It's in his benefit, but let's just give you the benefit of the doubt that he liked you and was willing to trust you with the rest of his staff. So congratulations. And I'm sure you will, like, I can only imagine. You you're winging it, I've been like, that was great, you know, everything that he said. So. All right, anything from you, Devin? You good? Oh, you're on mute, sorry.
No, everything's good. It was good 4th of July. Got, lead on, this guy in my town has like 3 restaurants and, one of my COIs passed my information along to him and, sent him a quote or a proposal, I want to say on Wednesday. And then, Ashland does a pretty big 4th of July thing with a parade and the businesses open up and,
Sweet.
serve food and stuff, and so I made sure to stop by there, said hi to him, introduced myself in person, and he said to go ahead and send over the application. So I'm hoping that guy can
Awesome.
open some more. I'm hoping I can get him, it'll open more doors, and because his
Right.
current agent, who's a broker, wasn't able to come through on this one, hoping it'll lead to at least quoting his other businesses, because I think I get into that. Like I have like 3 or 4 businesses like right inside of Ashland, but if I can plug into him, I think it'll open up, probably
Yeah.
4 or 5 more, I'm hoping.
Sweet. Yeah, we need some growth in Ashland.
Yeah, I mean, you take a right turn and you go 100 feet up the hill and the wildfire score completely changes. And then I got one that was 100 wildfire score. I was able to get it approved, but I don't know how Allstate didn't even have to go and inspect the property. They beat my proposal by $4,000 combined with the umbrella, the home, and the auto. And I don't know how they did it. I know I've heard of like State Farm, I think, just signing new business and then they do their underwriting review within the first couple weeks and then the person gets a non-renew notice. I was just so taken back that, I was the only guy that would actually go up there and inspect the property. And these guys just blindly approved it.
That's crazy.
But
There's times where you're like, okay, client, does this make sense to you? Then there would not have to be any inspection at all. There's times where you have a conversation with your prospect that you're trying to win over and just say, hey, just common sense. Do you think that there might be an issue should your house burn to the ground? That,
yeah.
let's make sure that you're going with a company that is doing their due diligence to make sure that you are, gonna be secure should something happen. I don't know, I kind of throw that in there, but I can't answer your question, Devin, like that's amazing.
I mean, it
That-
just is what it is.
Yeah.
I know,
But,
said that, yeah. Good weekend, it's good
Awesome.
connection, but yeah, hoping get that kind of.
you got a haircut.
Yeah, yeah.
I know last time I saw you, I was like, oh, he's, got the flow going.
Yeah. I grow it out probably every 6 months and then cut it. It's on par with my facial hair.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just continue to share success. Who else? Jeremy, you shared, Devin, Nancy or Jimmy, like just something from last week that was, you felt really successful. But it doesn't have to be business. Like it has, like, how did you move your business forward? How did you feel success?
I mean, honestly, a big thing for me was just doing I did a big deep clean on the office, got everything kind of reorganized and set up for, changed the layout of my office, things like that, got some plans, got some decorations, like, it feels less like the Uber just came through like it did for
Yeah.
the last week, so that was
Yeah.
nice.
Well, you feel better, you just feel better. I know. I like to do that. Gotta feel good when you go in your office. Who else? Jimmy, Nancy?
Had a great meeting with Austin, so good potential for an office and just getting more insight and having you help me along this way, which is very much appreciated. So especially going into all this business and knock on wood, it looks like my book of business is finally working too. So that's a big success. This morning, I just checked that.
Josh has had no access to his book of business to do changes, to do anything. So somebody didn't flip a switch when all of that came over. So, anyway, yeah, I know he's, and Jimmy, so, Jimmy, if you would, because I know I know you'd be fine with this, but talk a little bit about how you work through that frustration a little bit.
Well, good thing I have a punching bag at home, so I could relieve it. No, it was just kind of doing lots of breathing, and then it was frustrating because I couldn't do anything, and it like drove me nuts because I really wanted to help these people and I couldn't. But then reaching out to you and like, okay, well, what is the control that I actually have? I don't have that control over IT, which I need a lot of help in IT, but it was just like just learning to let go and just not dwell on it, focus on the next one. So I ended up just calling more people. So I put action, and now I have another meeting with another guy tomorrow morning for coffee. And it was just like, okay, well, I can't do anything, but I can call people, and I just need to capitalize on all my resources and just knowing how to input them into the system the right way and get it out and get it closed and all that.
Yeah, I liked how you handled that because yes, it's frustrating, but you're at a dead stop right here. So let's not just stay parked. Let's take action in another area that you actually have control over. So I'm glad that you shifted and you found success in that, in just doing that. So that's awesome. Nancy, what about you? What successful thing happened in your
Well,
neck
I
of the woods?
got my client folders in Central Point, so
There you
that
go.
was a lot of work, and we're going back for round 2, but I did get A through Z, and they are here. They are unloaded. They're in my other office, so I'm feeling a little bit like, I'm needing that organization of like, hey, now I need to do the next scanning step, but I know I can't do it right this second, so Mandy and I are gonna go back so we can get the rest of it, because I don't know if she updated you on that. They just weren't done getting theirs out of the file cabinet. So if we would have went in and taken them, we would have taken a lot of folders that shouldn't have gone. So we told them we would be back because it took a while just to pull mine off my list, so longer than we thought.
Okay.
But they're here, so that was a big thing, that's been kind of weighing on me that I needed to get done, and when was I gonna go and all that, so it felt good to we accomplished that. And I think the next part will be easier because we're not having to go file by, we'll just be boxing them up and taking them. So,
Very good. And I'll pick up any little stragglers behind you. They appear when I get there.
yeah, definitely looked like they were moving.
Yes, I know, which is, it's good. They need to get that office cleared out so they're ready to go. So, well, very good. I'll share a success. Like I've had some really good conversations with candidates. So, I'm just going to plug this, referrals. I'm always open to referrals. I think that, if you're thinking about somebody who can join our team, let me just share with you where we have openings. All right. So we have, one opening in Bend. I have 2 in Medford. I have 1 in Grants Pass and 2 in Redmond. So that's where we're looking to add, for a total of, I know I mentioned 40, but that caps us out at 38 or so. I know, Megan, you're probably like, what? We have 33 on our team right now. It's a big team, but we're spread out. Yeah, we're spread out. So lots of great people on our team. So I have some good potential, some good conversations going, and gosh, we just need to get these people through licensing. So that's the main hiccup right now. All right, so let's shift into just sharing our success numbers wise. There's just what Jimmy was referring to. There's things that we can control and there's things we can't. Like in all reality, we cannot control the results, right? We can't control when we quote somebody, how much premium country says where they're going to charge for this client. We can't control any of those things, but what we can control is our activity, right? And so I think that's part of what I want to focus on with you all. And so part of this every Monday morning is saying, all right, based on last week's activity, like really putting pen to paper and saying, okay, how much was I able to write me life premium? How many life appointments did I have? And I know I mentioned a few of these areas that we would talk about last week that we would bring to the forefront today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop and I'm just going to fill in this little spreadsheet here. So we'll do this every week that we meet. And really, it's all, like I said, it's all about activity. It's all about accountability, helping each other and getting ideas off each other too. I'm not so concerned about, all right, why didn't you have any cars last week? You know, if you didn't, it's more of, all right, what are we going to do this week based on us not having enough traction in that area from last week? So, and then really marketing and networking activity, which I know Megan's going to hit a lot on today, the importance of that. So, let's just go ahead and start. Nancy, I'm going to start out with you. Any life premium written last week?
Nope, I just had an appointment and I have another one today, so I didn't.
Awesome. That's all right.
Working on it.
So, yeah. So life appointments last week, you had one?
Yep.
Okay. We'll
But
put
we had
that.
to do it virtual because she lived in Hillsborough, so
Okay.
she couldn't
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah, that's not close to you, is it?
No, it's near Portland.
Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
it's not at all. I think she used to live here and had moved away, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, very good. I love that you got her virtually and was able to hold that. So very good. PIF for last week, based on your calculations.
Oh, after what I lost or total?
No, okay, we are focusing on new business coming in, written PIF, just based on your activity. Yeah.
Yeah, last time I checked, I had 30. For the week. Or for the month, sorry. Oh, you're saying for the week, sorry.
Just for the week, because we're gonna do this every week.
Oh, gotcha. What did I have last week? Gosh, I didn't check that before I got on the call. Let me think here.
So Nancy, everyone else on the call is probably like scrambling, oh no, she's gonna ask me this. Thanks for being the guinea pig.
Think what household, how many did I do? I
It's
have a
not,
couple.
you can work on it, you can work on it while everyone else is going, if you want, it's no big deal.
Okay.
So, how many reviews were you able to have with current clients?
2, that one.
Okay, awesome. How many referrals did you get?
Last week, 5.
Oh my gosh, so that is awesome because we had our call last week about asking for referrals. So that is so great. I love it.
They weren't necessarily from me asking, but it happened to
That
be
doesn't matter.
good week of people thinking of me.
Yeah.
Even one was commercial. So yeah, heard from some different people out there. So it was fun, you know,
Very cool.
more my centers of influence last week.
Yeah, very good, very good. So, any highlights in marketing or networking activity that you were able to either have a networking meeting or you had some centers of influence coffees or lunches, or what are you doing in that space? What did you do last week?
Well, I had greeters. I go to that once a month, and then I did a coffee date too. So for my network in action, I do 2 a month where I have to meet 2 new people. Oh yeah, and I went to the winery. Forgot about that. That was last week. So then I went to the winery. That was my quarterly network in action. I went one day after work and met. That's like with all the groups that are in Southern Oregon. We go quarterly. So
Okay, awesome. Very good. Hey, it's all about staying out there, staying present, being exposed to networking opportunities, centers of influence. So, very good. All right, Devin, you're up next. Life premium.
Sorry about that. I didn't sign any new life. I had a key man insurance, life insurance proposal that I put together for somebody that's going for a SBA loan. And
Okay.
that was one of the requirements that was on it. So I had them going through the process. Signed up 4 new PIF-VIFs.
Sweet.
That were going to effect. Yeah, so a couple I was waiting on,
Uh-huh.
just for, we wanted to start them towards the early end of July, so I tied those up.
Okay,
And then I had 2 reviews with customers coming into the office and, going
Nice.
over their policies with them.
did you have that one life appointment?
Yeah.
Okay. Any referrals?
The referrals, I got the one for the restaurant, and
Yeah.
then I got another referral for, just for like a COI with a life insurance or with a real estate agent. And so,
Right.
yeah, I mean, that was based off the text that I got from the current client, and then made sure I sent him business cards, but then I followed up with
That's
his
right.
work email and provided my information, so I'm hoping I grow
Sweet.
something.
Awesome. Any specific marketing or networking activity from last week?
Well, just trying to just make sure I'm active and out in the community. Like I had probably, well, my nieces are in town, and so we did three dinners with people that have kids. I don't have kids, so
Oh,
getting
nice.
into like those pockets where people have children or hanging out with children. I just try to maximize that while they're here. And then, of course, on the 4th of July, going around to the current businesses that are
Yes.
insured with me, just make contact. They see my face, let them know I'm out and about in the community, and then go into the prospect that I quoted and shaking
Yeah.
his hand and making that connection. And then I got together with a couple of real estate agent friends over the
Sweet.
weekend too.
Awesome. I love that you're specific with dinners with parents.
Yeah.
That's great, and that's the thing. It does, Devin, you don't have kids right now, and that just the importance of just making those connections, because those families are the ones that, over the years, 20 years from now, those are the ones that you're going to grow with, and then the kids are going to get their insurance with you, and all those things. It becomes generational when you do a really good job for them. So, plant the seeds for sure. Very good. All right, Jimmy, any written life premium for you?
Zero, but I did have couple appointments with Chris Shocker in regards to life premium, 0 on the PIF and VIF, 0 on the cars, and 0 on the referrals. But networking is my natural gift, I guess. I had like 5 in-persons gatherings, moms, one-on-ones, just kind of, and then going to the neighborhood parade and mingling with parents on the 4th of July. So that was good.
Very nice. And all of this, so this is, you just wrapped up your first month, right?
Yes.
So it is, this will all, you're gonna get traction in that area. From what I know that you're doing, the traction will come.
And I have a lot of quotes ready, but it's just a matter of going back and forth and how long that takes. I was like, oh my goodness, sign already. No, I'm kidding. But
Like,
right.
with doing that, and the more that you get with these, I'm telling you, everyone on the call, like people, the joint appointments that I've done with Jimmy, these people love him. Like they come back 2 or 3 times, they don't care. Like they're like, all right, Jimmy, when can we get this done? But you'll get there. You'll get there. Jeremy, what about you? Life premium.
So I didn't have any life premium or life appointments last week. I was really hoping to come in with 4 PIP, but is still waiting on some final underwriting stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
at a goose egg, but hopefully that'll finish today.
Yeah.
Didn't have any cars last week because it was my short week. I took some time off for the 4th. But I did get 2 referrals for homes out in Blackfeet Ranch because they know we can ride out there. And for like networking stuff, I've just been trying to meet with realtors because I know a good place for me is so I've got 2 of them. There's one that's like right next to me, and one that I met because she also helps man the Blackview, Ranch, guest spot, like the guest checking place. So she was the night auditor there, and when I went for a guest pass to get through the gated community gate, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a realtor." So just
Oh,
worked
that's
out
right,
pretty
yeah.
well. Yeah, but yeah, it was,
Those are all those things that come like through your daily just activity that really your antenna needs to be up. And I'm impressed with all of you, like your antennas are up when it comes to opportunities. And you just naturally, fold those into an extended touch point, an extended opportunity for contact, right? So that's awesome. So we'll just kind of go through here each week. And really, I think in the marketing and networking activity, it's encouraging, and it may jog some ideas for next week where you may say, hey, maybe I'm going to go into a neighboring town and go through some businesses because Devin's had some great success in Ashland, being in Medford. So this is my hope, is that this is more encouraging and it's more accountability. And for those of you who are competitive, don't like to see the goose eggs up there. So, that would be me. It's like, well, I'm not having the rights of life, So I know you're all trying, but so that's one of those things that we'll just go through each week, and then I'll have a follow-up email that kind of highlights that and sends that out in a couple notes from our meeting each week. So. All right, well, I'm certainly back to Megan now, so she's going to wrap up the rest of our meeting. And really, this is so Megan, I know I did a short intro for you at the beginning, but anything you want to add to your intro at all about your experience first couple of years so far?
I mean, I think you got it pretty well, but yeah, I started as an assistant for my mom with country, so I did that for a couple years before I became an agent, and then I opened my agency. It's been like 2.5 years now, so feels like a lifetime. But yeah, no, I think that's really all.
Very good. Well, and I will say, Megan, she's on the younger side, right? And so I think, Jeremy, you can really relate to her. I think, Jeremy, you're older than Megan. So it's and Megan's had a lot of success when it comes to that. And here's what I will mention about Megan is her very first year. So what month did you start?
I started in March.
March. So not even a full year, right? Her first year. And she was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, because we have different categories. There's market and then there's region, right? But she was the rookie of the year. Was that for the market or for the region, your first?
It was for the market.
So the market 2. So we're talking Oklahoma, all of Colorado, all of Arizona, and all of Nevada. She was the rookie of the year. She only had 8 months of it. And she qualified, right? And then last year, so, I just have to say that there was head to head with one of my agents in Northern Colorado. They were literally neck and neck. Right. And so, but
that's painful to talk about.
They just squeezed it out. He just squeezed right, just barely squeezed
I
by
didn't think
you.
there was any chance, and then he went crazy in December.
Yeah. And he went crazy on the life side.
Yeah.
And wrote a bunch of life insurance and squeaked it out. But she was right there to qualify for her second rookie of the year. So the reason, you think rookie is just like, you're only qualified like for one rookie, right? Well, it's your first full year. So Jimmy and Jeremy, you're up for rookie of the year this year, right? And you will be again next year. So you can qualify for rookie in your first 12 months as well. So anyway, but that's, what a great, that speaks to you. You can go back historically and see her production on the, if you go to the contest page, you can go back and look at that. If any of you are wondering, like I mentioned, rookie of the year, there's new agent of the year. There's also agent of the year. So there's 3 categories in these champion awards. And they're really, if you're really competitive and you know, that, like I said, that would be me because I want to win. And, anyway, and you know, from a leader standpoint, I want to win too. So I'd love to highlight my agents that are, up there in the rankings. But if you go to the contest page, the contest central, you'll see the different reports or contest, things that you can look up. And one of them is the champion awards. So you can track every month where you land based on everyone else in that category across the country and every single agent. So, you can kind of see the rankings. It's based on like I would say a golf score. So low score wins, right? So if you're ranked number one in a category, you get 1 point, right? And if you're ranked 200, then you get 200 points. And you want low score wins. So you want to be ranked really, really low. That means you're the best in the champion award. So anyway, just a little plug for that. That's very impressive, Megan, that you were able to do that. So I want to kind of pivot back to the fact that you were able to win that Rookie of the Year. In your like when you first started as an agent, Megan, what did you focus on? Because I think all 4 of these agents here, they all receive book of business, just like you receive book of business, right? So would you say that you were running a lot of reviews? When you first started, like what led to your success? Would you say that first year?
Yeah, I mean, I did do a lot of reviews. I think like for me, I feel super like uncomfortable just like calling people out of the blue, like, hey, like I know you don't know me, but like I noticed you don't have any life insurance. Like that's just like so weird to me. So I think I focused on like reviews and like building relationships with these people before I try to like, I mean, I'm still obviously calling people and like trying to get them to do life insurance or asking about their auto insurance or, you know, whatever it is. But I think, yeah, like coming in, I just wanted to like build a rapport with everybody first and do that as much as I could. But yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it was just really like doing a lot of everything. I feel like my first couple years were like such a whirlwind, and I feel like I'm just like settling down like now. So, no, I mean, it was just doing whatever you can. Like in the beginning, it's hard to really like be very intentional. I feel like I was like very reactive, not very proactive. Um, yeah, just trying to do my best and like bring up life insurance when I could. And you know, the PNC was never as hard for me because everybody needs that. It's always the life insurance that seems to be like the thing that I focus on because it's the harder thing to do. So yeah, just like basically did what I could and it worked out. But just I guess activity is my main answer. Like being active. And I think with life insurance too, like the thing that's gonna set you apart is like following up because you're never gonna call anybody and be like, oh yeah, you know what, let's sign up for that today. I think like, yeah, following up has been the thing that I've realized has like got the most success for me, just being consistent with these people. Like there's people that I've called like ever since I started that I'm still calling like at least once a year being like, hey, like we talked about this like every year, like you need to do your life insurance. So just like keeping in touch with those people I think is super important and not letting like them forget about it.
And for you, you know, the people on the call, like if you any questions that you have as well, like raise your hand, ask Megan anything. She's an open book. She's an open book. So so Megan, did you start out do you have an assistant now?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So walk them through the process of you finding that assistant, what you earmark the assistant, like here's your duties, like how do you have all that set up and how did you find this assistant?
So I'll kind of start with like how I like the process of finding someone, because it was not easy at all. I only ever posted on Indeed, and that's like where I was like looking for people. I mean, I did post on like Facebook too, but I didn't really seem to get anything good out of that. Like everybody was like, oh, like I want to do remote or I want to work like 10 hours a week. So I was like, okay, like this is stupid. So I posted on Indeed. I met with so many people, and then I had a lot of bad interviews, to be honest. But then I ended up hiring someone, and it was right before we were going on All American. We were going on a trip. It was New York, so that would have been 2024.
Yeah, 2023 production.
Yeah. So I had hired someone like in preparation to leave for this trip because I didn't want the office to be, you know, with no one in it. And I ordered the equipment for this girl. She went through the background check, and then she ended up bailing on me like super last minute. It was like, oh, never mind. Like she didn't even call me. She just emailed me, said I rescind my application. Like after like we've gone through everything, so that like totally blindsided me. And then I was like, okay, like I have to hire someone like basically like this week now to have somebody for when I leave. So I went on Indeed again. I like set up 3 interviews. I was like, I'm just gonna hire someone from these 3 interviews, and I ended up finding the girl that's in my office right now. So she's been with me for quite a while now. And it honestly turned out really good. But I went through a lot of like really bad people, and it was not an easy process. But now that I did find my person that's like reliable and consistent, like we work well together, like it's the best thing ever. But it's just like you've got to find that person, and it's probably not going to be like the first person that you like meet or hire even. So that's definitely a process, but you just gotta stay positive, I guess. Like know that there's gonna be someone out there. But yeah, once I did hire her, like in terms of like what she actually does, I would say it's mostly service. She does sell too, but I feel like, I want her first priority to be service and like making sure our clients are taken care of, and then selling when she can. I mean, I think like even with like all the service that she has to do, like there's a good amount of time to like be calling people and stuff. So with the service, she does like work leads as well. I do buy like auto and home leads that she works. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. But I really just wanted her to like free me up to be like out and about in the community and like not tied to my phone all the time. So I'm not like having to sit in the office, for 8 hours a day. Like I need to be out meeting people. So that's just really allowed me to do that more. So I think that's the best thing about it, is just like letting me do more of what I want to do and more of what I really need to do. So
Questions for Megan so far?
So Megan, I got a question for you. Oops,
Jimmy, you're not.
I got a question for you. Have you used Canopy Connect or Ideal Traits, or how did you go about hiring just?
yeah, no Canopy Connect, no Ideal Traits. Honestly, Country didn't I didn't even know about Ideal Traits until like within the last couple of months. So I didn't really know that was a thing when I was looking around. I only did Indeed. That was the only way that I hired. I knew that some other people in the company had used Indeed, so I just went that route. You do have to, I know Ideal Traits is a little bit more costly, but like on Indeed, you can post. I think it's like maybe like $5 a day that you can post on there, so it's pretty low cost. I was getting a decent amount of applications. They might have not been the best people ever, but I was still getting like people, and I eventually did find someone. But yeah, I honestly, I didn't even know about Ideal Traits at the time, and I just thought Indeed was the best way to go. So
We have I have some data or some wording and some examples of posts to put out there that some of my agents in Northern Colorado use too on Indeed. Just to post for the position that look really good. So Megan, so with your assistant, well, first of all, like I failed to mention, I mentioned like the rookie of the year and all that, but Megan has 2 All-Americans as well. Like she's already got 2 shingles up on her little plaque. So I mean that's really impressive for your first 2 years to have 2 All-Americans. So kudos to you. Jeremy, you have a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your structure for like initial delegation of tasks with your assistant? Did you like come into it with a plan, like starting to already split stuff off, or was it just kind of figure it out as you go, find your rhythm once they started learning there, where you're already like, one, doing this before they were even hired?
no, honestly, I just went I went with the flow. Like I didn't have a structure at all. Like that's probably like bad on me. But I don't know, like I just knew I needed somebody, so I hired them. And like even like the job interview, I remember people asking like what are like my like tasks gonna be? And like my response was always like so weird and vague because I didn't really know. Like, oh, like you'll just like help me, like what I don't even know what I said at this point. But no, I basically had no clue. Like I just knew that I wanted them to do like more of like the service side of things. So but yeah, like really what I would just tell people like, oh, like you're gonna be doing the customer service work, and then you can like earn commissions if you want to sell as well. It's kind of like, more up to you. If you want to sell 1 million policies, like that's fine. If you want to sell like 3, that's fine. So I'm not super worried about that, but mostly just the service. But I'm not yeah, probably should have planned that out more, but I didn't have a super good structure going into it.
So today is improving your preparedness, with John Maxwell.
Right, right, yeah. No, I definitely wasn't prepared, but honestly, like, I didn't even know, like, how to prepare for that at that point. Like, I was just like, kind of like diving in, but like, yeah, I don't know what I could have done, like, to prepare. I was like, I'm just gonna like do this and like see what happens. Like, I know I need to do this to grow my business. And like, I feel like that's like 90% of what I do. I'm just like, I don't know like how this is gonna work or if it's gonna work, but I just know I need to do it. So I'm just gonna do it. And then like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll stop doing it. But until then, like, I'm just gonna like basically try everything. So.
And then kind of following up on that, because I know you mentioned how you were doing like the commission sharing and stuff with your assistant if they're selling that. One of my biggest sticking points when I'm working on trying to figure out the hiring stuff. So I've only ever been an employee before, so I'm like, I don't even know exactly what to offer, benefits, competitive, hourly, like what do you use for any kind of commission related bonuses for your employee then?
So for her commission, I do kind of like a weird little grid, but basically I'm just like, hey, if you do like 1 through 10 Pacifist, I'll give you like 3% commission. If you do like 10 through 20, I'll do 5%. If you do 20 or more, I'll do 8%. So it's not really very reflective of our grid, but I think it's like, the more you do, the better it gets type thing to make it a little bit of an incentive. But then I just do it like on a salary. I don't do hourly because she is full time. So it's like, I don't want to, have her like punch the time part and everything. Like, I want her to like, if she needs to leave early someday, like she can do that. Like if she needs days off, like it's whatever. Like I want her to like have a good work-life balance, because I want her to like be happy and stay. So, I just pay her a salary, and then in terms of benefits, like I think it's really hard as like a small business to give a lot of benefits, but I did start a retirement plan for both of us this year, so that was something that like yeah, I mean I contribute 3% of her pay every paycheck, I guess, to her retirement. So kind of like a pay raise in a way. She doesn't really see it, which like, yeah, but it's a nice thing that she has that. But I think in the future, like it's my goal to like do as much as I can. But yeah, it's definitely hard at the beginning to like, oh, like health insurance and vision, like all this stuff. Like you can't really compete with that. So it's really tough.
It's tough. I mean, for all of you, I want to acknowledge it's tough to compete even with hourly wage of the area that we live in. I mean, those are all factors that you have to throw in there. But I think, Megan, now one of those things you could be there. There's a point of being prepared with, hey, these are the duties that I want you to do, right? And a lot of it is taking the service work off your plate so you can be out in the community. So let's with the time we have left, a little bit of talking about how you've shifted, because I know this. I talk to your mom every day, so she shares all things. But she has said that you're focused a little bit. You're approaching a little bit differently. Like instead of, or maybe you're just maybe lightening up on the leads a little bit and really getting out in the community. So I want to talk about your community involvement and really the effort that you've had this year on creating those relationships and being like steadfast with that approach.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I think like too, like I'll say like, every year, like I try to like set just like some goals that I want to accomplish for the year. And I think like my big 2025 goal, like for my business, like my number one thing is build COIs, because I can't just continue to like call my natural market and like, follow up on old quotes. Like I need something that's going to like bring me more business consistently. Like it has to like be like a steady stream. So that's what was my goal for this year. So like, and I will say like before this year, like I had like never gone to like a networking event for the most part. Like I never did any type of networking basically because I hate it. But this year, yeah, I did just like I'm just gonna like do this. So I did join. I'm part of a networking group called Tucson Business Networking. So it's just a group of like local business owners. And there's like a lunch once a month, and then there's a mixer every month. So I always go to those and just meet other people in the community, business owners, like get my name out there. And then I have started doing a lot more events. So any type of country, like sponsored event that country does, I always sign up for those. Like, so out here, like country, we did like the PGA event, which is like a golf tournament, that we have here every year. So country sponsored that. So like, I always take advantage of anything that country's gonna pay for, honestly. So I invited people to that, like just like a couple of lenders. I can't even remember who I invited now, but I think some lenders and some other people. But then on my own, like I did a happy hour not too long ago with one of my lenders. I just said like, hey, I'm basically gonna pay for this happy hour, but I just want you to invite your people because I want to meet new people basically. And then I have started doing like movie nights for my clients. So I did a movie night in December, and we did like a showing of Elf, just invited my clients, which was really great. And then actually next Saturday I'm doing another movie event. We're doing Jurassic World, the new one. So that'll be a lot of fun. But no, basically I've just been trying to get involved in like anything I can, because I think my main goal is like, it's not really to like, I don't want to get like an immediate return from these things. Like I just want people to be like, Megan Hawkins, people be like, oh yeah, like I know her, like I've heard of her. Like I just want to be like a known person in the community. I think that's like important to me too. So yeah, I think I kind of got off on a tangent, but I'm trying to build those COIs as well, but it's not that easy. So just the brand recognition is really important for me this year, and just general like networking and marketing. But I guess yeah, like going back to growing the COIs, because that's kind of where I started. Like I have really put a lot of effort this year into like reaching out to lenders and trying to like invite them to events and do whatever I can for them, even like offering like, hey, like I'll like pay for a happy hour for you, like the kind of like giver's aid type thing. That has been is like easy as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm just like doing what I can, I guess, but getting people to send you referrals is like not an easy task. So I'm just staying consistent with it though, and I think that's the only thing you can do is like continue on the follow up and like remind them that you exist basically. And eventually it'll all work out, but it's definitely like not easy. Like, I thought that people would like want to go to events with me and like want to do stuff with me, but I like reached out to them and they don't really. So I'm just like honestly, like I'm inviting people. Like we did a country event. We did the Phoenix Suns game, like NBA game. I thought it was like a really cool event. And there was multiple people that I reached out to that like didn't even reply to my email, and I'm like, wow, that's like kind of like really mean. But so yeah, it's like it's hard. But I do have a couple of really great lenders that do work with me. And I just like try to nurture those relationships as well. Like anything I can do for those people, like I do it because I appreciate them so much. But yeah, like COI is super tough, I have found, but it's still my 20% goal. So we're only halfway through, so I still got a lot of time.
Good for you. And that is, I mean, when you look at the different ways that you can bring business in, like buying leads, easy, you sign up and you start getting leads, right? So you get immediate opportunity, but you need to do all of it. The COIs and networking are more long-term payoffs, long-term relationship building. Just like you said, it takes a long time just to have them build that trust and to remember you and all those things. But yes, diligence and persistence is key when it comes to that. And I know there's a couple of you that I've had conversations about with your COIs, the ones that are, promised to send you stuff and they never do. It's really like, all right, I need to whittle this down into the list that I'm actually going to pay attention to, and it takes time to do that. It takes time to hold them accountable to what they said that they would do for you and have those conversations and, all of that. So it's a process, and it's long term. It definitely is. This is definitely the COIs and networking is it's like your slow burning fuel, right? It's not quick. It's not quick.
No, I will say, like, I've been doing networking. Like, I go to a networking event at least once a week. Like, not that I'm personally doing, but just like different groups. Like, even like the Better Business Bureau, I go to their events every month when they just have like these free mixers. So like I go to a lot of stuff, and I truly haven't gotten a single thing any of the networking I've done, like in terms of like writing any business. Like I've had like one person reach out to me and I couldn't write it, and I had to refer to somebody else, which is like sucked. But like for the most part, I haven't really gotten that much out of it. But yeah, I kind of went in knowing that, and like I know it's like it's it's not like a quick return on anything like that. So I think I just have to keep showing up. And if people just see me continually show up, they'll be like, oh yeah, like she's like been here for a while. Like I think with the networking, people like want to see you consistently before they like actually more like trust you and like send you business. So
Cause how
Just
many have
trying
they
to-
seen like come and go, right?
right, especially insurance agents. Like it's a revolving door and even like a lot of the networking I do, there was someone in our agency in the past who she did a lot of networking, and so every time I go to networking events, they're like, "Oh yeah, I meet this person from country," and I'm like, "Oh well, that kind of makes me like look, you know, because she's like gone now." So I'm like, "Damn, like that, you know." But I'm like,
Good representation.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know if like that's a good thing, you know, that because I feel like, you know, but if we all run our own businesses, like I don't necessarily run my business the same way that she ran her business, and I don't necessarily like present myself the same way. So, you know, that's kind of like a side note or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a hard thing. It's not going to be like, you know, you go to an event and you're going to get like, you know, even one lead, like you're just not. You're just being persistent. Yeah.
Nancy, did you have something?
Well, I was just gonna tell you my experience, because I felt like that with readers, so just to give you some hope, because I was like, I just, you know, like, it's only once a month, it's an hour, but you're busy, I'm like, I just sometimes wanna skip it, like, okay, probably nothing's gonna come of it, but
Yeah.
it's so true that, like, trust, it takes time, and it might not even be someone in your group, but it's someone they tell about you, because now they trust you, and that so we had our big ribbon cutting, whatever that was, a couple weeks ago, and the president of the chamber came, and then she walked in my office, and then she's like, "Hey, I want you to quote my auto. I really need help. I've been with State Farm," and it felt so good. I was like, "See,
Yeah.
all my skepticism was like, oh, look at how long that took." I honestly thought nothing would ever come of it, but for her
Yeah.
to say that made me feel really good. And I thought, see, it does work. Just keep being consistent and go to the meeting. You just never know. So
No, definitely.
it takes forever, but you never know what you might get. So it's worth
Yeah.
it.
No, I definitely know it's making an impact. Like I got a referral not too long ago from this lender, and I cannot for the life of me figure out like how he even knows me. Like I know that I don't know him, and we wrote the business, but I still to this day like I can't figure out like where this guy came from. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing. Like obviously my name has gotten around somewhere because this random person reached out to me, but yeah, I guess I am being like, yeah, I need a little bit of a downer. Like I actually have gotten like some good things out of it, but I just haven't seen like a huge return on it yet. But I know like it's slowly picking up, so it's a good thing for sure.
You should ask him, say, where did you get my name? Because I always do that, and then I tell him thank the person, or it's a good time to then stop in and go see them and say, oh,
Yeah.
Bob called me, and gosh, I sure appreciate you thinking of me, because real estate agents do that all the time. They have a house that has a
Yeah.
high wildfire score, they'll say, oh, well, Nancy helped my client call Nancy, and I've never talked to this realtor before, but they'll call. So
Yeah,
I think that's another way to like, it's an excuse or to go take that lender to coffee.
yeah.
He might tell a few more people in his office about you, so.
It is weird though. I sent out thank you referral cards and I sent him one and the mail got returned and then we reached out to him, we're like, hey, like, is this like your address or like we're trying to send you something? And he like kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth. So I don't know what's really going on in that situation, but yeah. I'll try to.
Well, maybe not him, maybe another.
No, I know, it's so weird, but either way, I wrote the home policy, so weird.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. All right, well, we are a little bit over on time this morning, but I love it. Megan, thank you for being
Yeah, thank
part of
you.
our call today and just sharing what's working for you and kind of what you're putting into play for 2025 and sticking with. And believe me, the most successful agents in country, they do not buy leads. They don't do any of those things anymore, right? It is all about relationships that they have with their COIs and their networking partners, that they have been massaging those relationships for years. So you gotta start somewhere, right? And then you just gotta go. So be consistent. All right, I appreciate all of you spending the last hour with us, and I hope that you feel some encouragement today and just a little bit of, even if you just take one thing, I would say this, one thing and apply it to your business this week that you learned. It's all about your activities. So Megan, thank you again.
Thank you, Megan.
I hope you guys all have a great week. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you again.